All right, today we are building a playbook for one of the most powerful tools in business, strategic partnerships. Consider this your guide to picking the right allies and, just as importantly, avoiding the wrong ones on your path to serious growth.
So let's be real. How do you unlock that next level of growth? It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Whether you're trying to expand your reach, innovate faster, or just get an edge on the competition, that pressure is always there. And the answer, more often than not, is partnerships. The right one can be an absolute game changer, but the wrong one, it can be a massive drain on your time, your money, and your energy. So the real skill here isn't just partnering, it's partnering smart. Okay, here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with setting a clear goal, then we'll dive into all the different types of partners you can team up with. After that, we'll run them through a strategic litmus test, map out a plan for action, and finally, get to the single most important question that's going to guide your whole decision.
First things first, setting your partnership goal. Look, before we even start thinking about who to partner with, we need to get crystal clear on the why. We have to define what a win actually looks like for the business.
And that why is what we call your partnership objective. Now, this isn't some vague idea. It has to be a specific, measurable goal. Like expand our market reach by 20% or enhance our core technology. But here's the crucial part. This objective absolutely must align with your bigger business strategy. Think of it as the North Star for every single decision you make from here on. Okay, so once you know your objective, it's time to choose your partnership type. I want you to think of your business like a sports team for a second. What position on the field is empty right now? What kind of player do you need to draft to help you win the championship? So you've basically got 6 core player types you can bring onto your team: distribution, technology, co-marketing, supply chain, strategic alliances, and financial partnerships. Each one solves a totally different problem and brings a unique strategic benefit to the table. Let's break them down.
First up, let's compare distribution and technology partners. A distribution partnership is all about getting your product in front of more people by tapping into someone else's sales channels. A technology partnership, on the other hand, is really about innovation. It's about teaming up to build or integrate products to make both of your offerings way stronger.
Next up, think front of house versus back of house. Co-marketing is your front of house, public-facing play. It's about joint branding, creating buzz, and generating new leads together. A supply chain partnership, that's all back of house. It's about operational efficiency, working with your suppliers to cut costs and make everything more reliable.
And finally, we have strategic alliances versus financial partners. A strategic alliance is a deep, long-term commitment. You're in it together for mutual growth. A financial partnership is much more direct. It's about getting access to capital, plain and simple, to fuel your expansion.
All right, so you've got your goal, and you know the type of partner you're looking for. Now comes what I think is the most crucial filter, the strategic litmus test. This is where we separate the truly great fits from the really costly mistakes.
This test really boils down to 4 key questions. First, strategic fit. Do our long-term visions actually line up? Second, market potential. Does this deal open up a really significant new opportunity for us? Third, financial contribution. What's the real, tangible impact on the bottom line going to be? And finally, and this one's huge, operational feasibility. Can our 2 companies actually work together day to day? Do our cultures and workflows even mesh? And please remember, any good partnership is a two-way street. It has to be a fair value exchange. So you need to be brutally honest here. Step 1, what are you actually bringing to the table? Is it your brand, your tech, your customer list? And step 2, what specifically are you going to get in return? If that equation feels unbalanced, trust me, the partnership is probably doomed from the start. So you've done the hard strategic work, you've found a potential match, but a plan is pretty worthless without execution, right? So now it's time to move from plan to action and turn this whole strategy into a reality. Every successful partnership moves through 4 pretty distinct phases. Initiation, that's where the conversation starts. Negotiation, where you hammer out the terms. Execution, where the real work begins, but that final phase is the one that people so often forget. Review, that's where you're constantly measuring performance and adapting to make it work. In that review phase, it is all about the data. Because as they say, you can't manage what you don't measure. So let's quickly run through the key metrics you absolutely should be tracking to know if this thing is actually working. First up, the most obvious one, the money. How much new revenue or how many qualified leads did this partnership directly generate? It's the clearest possible sign of a positive impact on your bottom line. But beyond direct sales, you've got to look at your expansion. By what percentage did your potential market or your customer base actually grow? This is a super powerful indicator of your partnership's long-term value.
Now, some benefits are a little less tangible, but they're just as important. Are you seeing an uplift in your brand awareness? You got to track things like media mentions, social engagement, and referral traffic to your website to really find out.
And finally, you have to measure efficiency. A great partnership can actually save you a ton of money or deliver an outstanding return on investment. So quantify any cost savings and calculate the overall ROI to prove the financial value of the collaboration.
Okay, so we've set our goal. We've explored the different partner types, we've run the litmus test, and we've established our metrics. We have all the pieces of the puzzle. Now it's time to put them all together and answer the one key question that drives this whole decision.
And this, right here, is the ultimate question your entire playbook is designed to answer. Which partnership type will deliver the highest strategic and financial value for our business at this stage? The answer to that question isn't just a choice, it's a strategy. It's your roadmap to unlocking powerful, sustainable growth.